All right, how's it going? My name's Leighton Peevler. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm a strength coach, Titleist Performance Institute certified. But first of all, I'm a golfer first. Outside of family, friends, I am a golf nut. So much that I opened a facility in Tampa directed at physical therapy, performance, fitness plans for golfers. And we do in-person sessions. That's the bulk of our business. But we also, since COVID, have had an online option and something in between called the hybrid plan, which is very popular among busy professionals who want to do their own workout on their own. They use our app. They get an in-person assessment or a virtual assessment based on the equipment they tell us we have, based on their injuries, based on their goals and their time. We make a custom plan for them on 4-week intervals, typically sometimes 8-week intervals, so that they can improve their golf game via fitness training. And I think that there's 4 ways to get better at golf, and getting lessons, having an instructor, working on your technique, going to the driving range, playing golf is by far the best way to get better. Let your instructor quarterback your golf get better plan. And then equipment, physical, and mental are the other 3 ways to get better. And those are all different in levels of importance for people. I feel like my equipment fits me better than it ever has in my life. And that silo is from 0 to 100 is pretty close to 100 for me. Physically, I feel like I'm above 90 when it comes to the physical shape I'm in as it needs for golf. And then technique wise, I'm working with a couple instructors that always, Natalie Filler, Matt Mitchell, to name a few. And I even have my good friend Fielding take a look at things when things are going haywire. So having someone to keep you in check is always great. And I want to also touch on the mental aspect of the game. There's like the mental toughness side of things, or there's also like your course management piece. And John Sherman, Scott Fawcett, Mark Brody, these are all guys who touch on like the course management, statistic things, and it's so powerful because when I played college golf, it was like kind of be conservative off the tee and then aggressive with your iron so that get it in play and then fire at a pin. Whereas now it's like hit it as far as you can and then based on where you are, dictates your decade golf target, for example. And I probably play more conservative into greens now than I did in college, and more aggressive off the tee. It's kind of flipped for me, and certainly my scores are better because of that. But underneath the physical aspect of getting it better at golf, there are principles, and principles are things that are just facts. Like we have 2 hands on the club, we're bent over. Those are principles, whereas a preference might be where your hands are at on the club or how far bent over you are. And that's dictated by a lot of factors, your own individual body, your own individual needs, your swing, things like that. And so, in physical aspect of golf, there are 9 principles. We're going to go over those today while we play a little course in Georgia on the back 9. We got the Sunday pins tipped out. Heaven forbid this could get ugly. And I'm going to hit one down number 10. Kind of hard. That should be perfect. If it misses the trees. All right, so principles. There's 9 of them. And the reason there's 9, in a sense, is we had 287 carry raw, 318 downhill, got a 158 left downhill. It's a little punch, maybe a full 9-iron for me. 12 feet downhill. I'm gonna hit 9-iron. You got 3 areas of your body, generally speaking: limbs, upper body, and lower body, and then the spine. So upper, spine, lower body. And in those 3 areas, you can, as it relates to golf fitness or performance, there's flexibility or mobility of those areas, stability or strength of those areas, and then speed, power of those areas. So upper body needs flexibility, strength, and speed. Core needs flexibility, strength, and speed. And lower body needs flexibility, strength, and speed. And that's mainly the purpose of this video, is to talk about each of those categories while we play the back 9 and maybe give you some food for thought on what you're missing in your program. So let's hit the shot. Got it on auto putt so we can move a little faster. It's probably a stock 55 club for me, so I don't know if they've necessarily hit this super hard. I don't know. So we're going to be in that auto putt range, hopefully. And because we're off the green, I think I'm going to have to hit this. So there we go. It looks like a little, probably would putt this normally, but for the sake of time, we'll just kind of bump one up a little right to left here. Get in there. Go, go. Okay. Gives us a par. Number 11, the start of Amen Corner. This is going to get exciting. So upper body mobility. Let's talk about that. You need some prerequisites for shoulder external rotation, especially in the trail arm. You also need some cross body mobility this way. You know, how wide can you get with your lead arm in there? That kind of holds true in the downswing as well. But generally speaking, mobility of the lat over this way, mobility of the pec this way, in a way. At the wrist, we like to look at, can you bow that lead wrist enough? Or can you extend through that rail one? And we check both sides to compare and then kind of get nitty gritty. Pronation, supination, all those things in our TPI screen. And shoulder mobility, lat mobility, those things are huge when it comes to getting our hands on the club the right way, what grip. You know, if you don't have a lot of external, you might be on top and vertical. Or if you have a ton of external, you might be underneath and around. Everybody's different. We need to create a matchup based on that mobility. But that's upper body mobility. Let's hit a shot. This looks like you just got to kill one. Yeah. Kind of pull cut at it. Catch the right rough. Could be trouble. Those are those new trees they put in a few years ago. We're going to have 240 to the hole. This is like make a 5 and get out of there. Somewhere down around the right edge there. I think we better toggle this right through there. Gonna hit a 4-iron back in my stance. Equipment fits me. I actually have this bent to a 3.5 iron. I'll call 2 degrees strong. Love to use this off the tee. It's a little hotter than a 4-iron. So just something down there. Man, that might be okay. Do it. Get in there. Man, it's like the same situation as before on the last hole. It's about as good as I could do from there, I think. So left to right, then right to left. Just a bump and run. Don't know if that's hard enough. All right, all right. Tough on a simulator to judge some of those. Gives me a bogey based on there. All right, next thing. So mobility of shoulders we talked about on hole 11. We'll talk about mobility of the trunk or spine on hole 12. What a famous one. First time I went to Augusta, practice round, an amateur got in. I was playing college golf at the time. Of course, an amateur US Am champ got in. I can't remember his name. It was 2008. Trevor Immelman was the overall champion. The Am was on this hole, and somebody next to me yelled, "What's the yardage?" He said 155, and it looked like the scariest 155 I've seen. So this is a lot less scary in here. I'm gonna hit like a little easy 8-iron and hopefully not go long. The thing about mobility of the spine is that we pretty much need to have rotational mobility to the right and left and some side bend mobility. And there are norms about 45 degrees each direction. If you're short in rotation to the right of your spine, you better get it somewhere else, hopefully the hip, to create the rest of the turn. Because if you don't, you're going to end up arm lifting or having a short backswing. I certainly fight that. But mobility of spine is left and right turn, side bend, a little bit of flexion extension can be relevant depending on your setup posture and how much you can extend. All right, let's hit this shot. Mobility of spine. Next principle, 2 of 9. Sit. 53 carry. Yeah, probably a 9-iron. All right, so we'll flip a 60-degree very softly. Do not blade it. You go viral. Soft. Gotta sit. Get up there. Ooh, got away with one here. All right, mobility of hips, next one. So mobility of lower body. Rotation, probably the number one piece of this. Rotation, left and right when the feet are off the ground. When the feet are on the ground, it's this or this. Those are like the lowest hanging fruit from a standpoint of gaining hip mobility. We also got the hip flexors, be able to extend through here, hamstring length. That certainly plays a factor for a lot of things when it comes to early extension. Ankle mobility, more important than you'd think. John Rahm's a good example. Struggles with trail leg ankle mobility, and it creates a shorter swing, but the TPI team built one, a swing around him, and certainly has had some great success with that move. So mobility of your whole lower body, huge aspect. Let's hit this guy. Maybe too much. 290 carry. Gotta sit down. All right, got a go zone here. 206 holes, gonna be a 5-iron for yours truly. That's a 4. That's a 6. It's hiding back here at 5. So think about mobility. Everyone should have a daily mobility routine. I struggle with right hip, right spine, so every day spend 4 or 5 minutes on that. And I do dynamic mobility. It works better for me. Like dynamic mobility is where you get into it and out of it. You just kind of tease it. So I'm teasing my hip, getting into it, out of it, versus like just holding a stretch and hoping it gets better. I kind of fiddle with it. And some people like to lay on a table and have someone stretch them out for them. I'm not a huge fan of that because you require someone else and time and money, but I guess you could get some results with like a stretch lab. But honestly, a little bit every day on your own is going to create the best result, whether it's static or dynamic mobility for your own individual needs. It should only take like 5 or 10 minutes. And mobility is cumulative. You just keep working on it every day and it makes a change. Not once a week at the Saturday morning yoga class. You're not going to change much. That's mobility in a nutshell. Stability or strength, those kind of go together. Of upper body, we need pushing and pulling, both horizontally and vertically. And there's all variations of pushing and pulling that create strength and stability in our shoulders and elbows and wrists, for example. And generally speaking, more pushing from the right, pulling from the left for a right-handed golfer, but there's a lot of things that you can do, generally speaking, to improve your pushing, with whether it's a simple countertop push-up or some kind of overhead press, which isn't necessary for golf. Some rows, basic gym stuff, pushing and pulling. Make the weight heavy, make it tough, do 3 to 4 sets, start building force production. Those are great ways to improve your strength and stability of the upper body. All right. Man, I haven't thought about this. I guess it's just a 5-iron, nice and easy. Is that good? Be a honey. 203 carry. Girl in there. All right, that better be a birdie. Strength, stability of core. This is loaded because when people come in and I ask them, what are the, I guess, things that you think about when you think about golf fitness and what's most important? And everyone always says flexibility. Flexibility is, if I could swing like those young kids, I could hit it that far. And there's not much truth to that, honestly. They have flexibility is a big piece for young kids, of course, but strength and stability is probably bigger. And the second thing people always mention is I need to improve my core strength. I've been doing a bunch of planks and sit-ups and ab rollers, and I don't see my club head speed go up or something like that. And the problem with that is your feet aren't on the ground, and I'll get into that a little deeper, but certainly sit-ups, planks, those types of things are fine as an introductory to core strengthening, or as like a daily thing that you like to do and improve force production in those areas. But for golf, we want your feet on the ground, a solid surface, something that you can push off from to get force going from the ground to your legs, to your core, to your arms, to the club, to the ball. And if something's unstable, like a BOSU, or your feet aren't on the ground, or a foam pad, you're not going to transfer that force that you need into those obliques and those back stabilizers to swing the club properly. So strength, stability, once people meet some prerequisites on the ground, as soon as we can, we get them on their feet and doing frontal plane, sagittal plane, and a lot of transverse plane strength training, stability training. The Palloff press, Palloff with turns, things like that. All right, I'll shut up. Let's play some golf. Probably right. You. Big soft bounce. Big soft bounce, little soft bounce. All right, think we're gonna be okay. Got 190 hole. Looks like nothing's in the way. Let's get this 6-iron. It's an 8. 4, 6. Strength of core. Check that box. Feet need to be on the ground on a solid surface, working transverse plane a lot. It's like strength of that motion there. And then later we throw speed of that motion with med balls or cables or bands and things like that. Let's hit one here. 6-iron, low fade. Anywhere on the green, I guess. Big bounce. Can't complain. 15 is a par 5. Got to be down the right side here. So strength of lower body, stability of lower body. I think of ankle stability, almost like balance training, that kind of stuff, which has some rehab implications. But strength training for lower body is your nitty-gritty foundational things. Quads, glutes, hamstrings, feet on the ground, some variation of squat. On one end, it might be standing up and down from a chair. That's no problem with that. On the other end, you might be doing a back squat at twice your body weight. There's everything in between. Deadlift, being able to hinge. Good players hinge down to the ball. Beginners squat down to the ball. So the hinge pattern's huge, both double leg and single leg. We can start, hold on to a club, working that hinge pattern. And then you get rid of the club and you work on it. Then you start adding weight to it. And then you start throwing a ball on the power side of things. Strength of lower body, huge. Lunges, those types of things. Reverse lunges. For glutes, everyone loves clamshell side steps. Certainly part of some of our plans, but not going to get you where you want to be. We like a curtsy lunge to strengthen the glute with a foot on the ground. Get that kind of fibers that look like a fan to get all of that piece there. All right, let's get a birdie on 15. Might just send one here. Missed it. All right, 268 carry, kept her down the right. Probably a layup. Yeah, gonna have 270 hole. I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun. Let's hit 3-wood. Let's see what happens. Sets up pretty good for my old cut. So we've talked about mobility of 3 areas, strength of 3 areas. When you get solid mobility, and then you have a good foundation of strength, this fire, a campfire we'll call it, took that from someone, maybe Chris Finn, is burning pretty good. And then when you throw speed training on it, power work, it's like throwing gas on the fire. The speed just jumps. And truly, golf is a power move, and power in physics is a product of watts and time. Simplify that if you're not following. That's watts is like your strength, time is your speed. So you've been working on strength as we've talked about it through the first, bit of the back 9 here in Augusta, and then you throw gas on it with speed training or power training. And when you combine and do something kind of light and fast, a club is light and you do it fast, that's a power move. The speed is up and the watts are up. And so we want to address power of each part of our body. So upper body, let's hit the shot. Everybody's eager. Should be laying up. We're going to try to hit the big towering cut because it's Sunday and we're down. We got to make something happen. Hit it good. Will it be enough? Oh yeah. See? That was 257 carry. That's about as good as I could hit it. So, yeah, I just might get a little nervous here, shoot under par with everyone watching. 32 yards is a little flip. That could be good. Spin it. Ay, ay, ay. Giving me the par. 174, the famous here. Pretty sure it's just a 7-iron, just right of it. What's that little target thing? Right in here. What we're looking at. So, speed and power, upper body, your med ball push, med ball swoop. You know, stuff that is overhead vertically, like thrusters. Great ways to improve your impulse for your upper body. That nervous system is what you're training, not so much the muscle, to like send the signal faster when you do speed work. Let's hit this shot and we'll talk about some core things. All right, 174, all funnels right to left. Spin to win. Might be front edge. Kick it left. Doesn't this come down? You're gonna stay up there. Auto 2-putt, friendly game. Next, we're at 17. So we talked about upper body, speed, power. Very powerful with like 6-pound med balls, 6 reps as hard as you can versus like 12 reps to exhaustion. You'll get more out of the 6 to 8 rep range, something light and fast. Core, that's huge. Med balls as well with that. Rotational things. I love cable exercises, banded exercises that, you know, maybe for 6 weeks you've been training the strength of all your power off stuff, and then you start throwing gas on it and light and fast with that cable stuff to work that rotary component of things. 17. Man, I hit that one. 293 carry. That's as good as I can hit it. Being inside, we're gonna have pitching wedge left. Let's make another birdie. What the heck? All right, so we went over mobility, upper body, core, lower body. Strength of those, upper body, core, lower body. And speed of those, upper body, core, lower body. Now, you can't work on all of those at once. It's impossible. So those 9 areas. I only have a week. Well, my lower body strength right now is about as good as it's ever been. And I've been working on it for 2 months. So I'm going to like tone off the strength and start getting into speed and power stuff with my lower body. Upper body, I've definitely neglected. Stayed mostly in the core and lower body the last couple of months. And so I could probably afford to do some strength work in my upper body. I always need mobility up there too. So you need someone that knows what they're talking about to kind of tailor your plan based on maybe you're a pro getting into a season, like I'm getting ready for the Mid-Am in 3 weeks. And, you know, I want to have my legs really strong and then start my light and fast stuff now. And so you need someone to quarterback the fitness side of things, whether that's in person or online. We kind of got you covered there. All right, 134 back pin. I think you want to be left of this flag to be up the hill, but could be wrong. Just kind of hit a little heat of. That might be long. Sit. Oh no. Made another birdie. This is wild. Catching me on a good day. So 18 at Augusta. No, it's a cut shot. Get it down the left side a little better. We went over 9 principles of golf fitness. And I think that one thing I know a lot of people that have played Augusta through this business that I'm in, whether they're a member or know someone that's a member. And one thing that a lot of them say, not about the course, everyone kind of knows the course, but is that they say Augusta's cool. Some people paraphrase in one way or the other. Augusta National does the simple things really well. So the fundamentals really well. If you're going to get a steak dinner, not going to have some rocket shooting out of it with all this hoopla and stuff. It's a steak, a vegetable, a salad, a potato. Very simple, but done very well. And those are like the ingredients to a good golf performance plan, a golf fitness plan. The fundamentals, the principles, the 9 that we talked about, done very well and consistently to get results. The problem is people don't know where their deficits are in those 9 principles, and you need someone to assess you to see where your deficits are. And if you start chipping away at the big ones that are your big problem areas, it'll start to show up on the course. You'll start to feel better during and after your rounds, and you'll figure out that you can't afford not to have a gym plan. So why not have a plan that not only benefits your golf game, but also benefits your physical health? All right, Augusta National, number 18. Honestly, be happy with a 5 here, but we're going to try to hit one again. That's in the bunker. That was not a cut. Sit down. Hit the tree. There we go. I think I was saved. Maybe the bunker was easier. 175 uphill. Kind of juiced up. More room behind it. Decade golf. So I'm in between clubs. It's either a really hard 7-iron that's got to be perfect, or a bleeder 6-iron. I'm going to hit the 6-iron and try to play for the fat part of the greens behind it. Uh-oh. Another birdie. Hit it. Come back. All right, I had fun playing Augusta and telling you about golf fitness. The thing about it is, it's really not that complicated. If you get moving and do something, one simple thing. In your upper body, maybe you start some countertop push-ups. In the core, you just practice rotation of mobility. Still getting better. In the lower body, maybe you start some chair squats. Those simple things, if you've done nothing, 35 on the back 9. I'm gonna have to go play the front 9 and cancel my next patient. If you do those simple things without having had done anything before, you're gonna see results and start to feel better. And if you wanna get weird with it and start to learn about the nuances of golf training, we do this in-person assessment. It takes an hour. Bring your clubs, have fun. We do it virtually. There's some prep work that you have to do beforehand, whether you don't have any swing videos, but and we make you a custom plan, and you just got to get started. And basically your commitment is going to be a daily mobility routine, 5-10 minutes for your own individual problems that we figure out in the assessment, and then 2 workouts a week. We can make them 30-minute workouts, 15-minute workouts, 2-hour workouts, and you start chipping away at these problem areas, and the next thing you know, you got a guy on base. He gets to second base, another guy's on base, and you start scoring runs, playing better golf, and benefiting your men's health for a life of physical well-being. Thanks for checking us out. Subscribe, follow us on YouTube, at Florida Physio, on other social media here. We'll have more of these videos diving into these principles deeper. That was fun, and I'll go play the back 9.